In every kitchen on every continent, a silent giant shapes what we eat and drink, Nestlé. From morning coffee to bottled water, its brands are woven into our daily lives, often unnoticed, always present. But behind the familiar labels lies a global empire, vast, powerful, and deeply controversial. Praised for feeding billions, yet criticized for its impact on people and planet, Nestlé's legacy is one of triumph and of protest. This is the story of the world's most powerful food company. How did Nestlé become the invisible giant in our lives? When many people hear the name Nestlé, they might picture a bar of chocolate or a tin of coffee. But these represent only a tiny fraction of the company's vast portfolio. The true scale of Nestlé is staggering, encompassing an astonishingly diverse range of products that cater to every stage of life. Nestlé's presence is truly pervasive, creating or acquiring brands that meet almost every conceivable consumer need. Operating in over 180 countries, it's a global citizen with a local presence everywhere. This global-local approach has been a cornerstone of its success. In this documentary, we'll delve into this incredible scale of operations and the responsibilities that come with such power. Understanding Nestlé requires us to appreciate the sheer magnitude of its global empire. Our story begins with one man's compassion and scientific curiosity. This man was Henri Nestle, a German-born pharmacist who settled in Vevey. In the mid-19th century, infant mortality was tragically high. Many mothers were unable to breastfeed, and safe alternatives were scarce. This pressing social problem captured Nestlé's attention. He sought to create a nutritious food that was easy for an infant's stomach to digest. He combined cow's milk, wheat flour, and sugar. His dedication was absolute, as he believed that science could provide an answer. Before his famous infant food, he was already an entrepreneur. He chose his own family name, Nestlé, which means little nest. Henri Nestle's personal crest, a bird's nest with a mother bird feeding her young, was a perfect emblem. This image would become one of the most recognizable logos in the world. In 1867, Henri Nestle's formula, Farine lactée Henri Nestle, saved a premature infant who couldn't tolerate other foods. The baby thrived, proving the product's value and catalyzing the company's launch. Demand grew rapidly as doctors and mothers sought Nestle's formula. Nestlé scaled up production, ensuring consistent quality. Within years, his product was sold across Europe and exported to the US and Australia. This success established Nestlé's core principles and built a lasting legacy. While Henri Nestle developed his infant formula, the Page brothers established the Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company in 1866. Their Milkmaid brand offered preserved milk, challenging Nestlé in the growing infant food market. This rivalry spurred innovation as both companies expanded globally. In 1905, they merged, creating the Nestlé and Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company. This union laid the foundation for the global powerhouse known today. In the early 1900s, Nestlé and Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company saw opportunity beyond infant formula. They quickly expanded into chocolate, partnering with Peter and Kohler to create creamy milk chocolate. Nestlé's product line grew. Evaporated milk, malted milk, and instant beverages, especially during World War I, when demand for shelf-stable foods soared. The company set up factories worldwide, evolving from a baby food maker to a global nutrition supplier. Post-war Nestlé invested in research, launching innovations like powdered coffee and instant soups to match changing lifestyles. By the 1930s, Nestlé was a global brand, its Nest logo recognized from Latin America to Southeast Asia. The stage was set for even greater growth, driven by bold ideas and a hunger for new markets. Nestlé's real power came from strategic acquisitions. The 1947 merger with Maggi brought instant soups and seasonings, transforming Nestlé into a full-spectrum food giant. Acquisitions like Cross and Blackwell, Findus, Rowntree McIntosh, KitKat, Smarties, and Ralston Purina pet food expanded its reach. Each deal added new products, technology, and markets, making Nestlé more resilient and diverse. By the 21st century, Nestlé boasted over 2,000 brands, from coffee to healthcare nutrition. Every acquisition was a calculated step, cementing Nestlé's dominance in the global food industry. Growth by acquisition became the cornerstone of Nestlé's empire. Nestlé's global success hinged on blending international expertise with local adaptation. In India, Maggi noodles matched local tastes. In Japan, KitKat came in unique flavors like green tea. Nestlé invested in local supply chains, supporting farmers and communities worldwide. The company set up factories, hired local staff, and respected cultural traditions, adapting products for each market. Challenges were met with flexibility, tailoring dairy for China, respecting dietary customs in the Middle East. This global approach fueled Nestlé's dominance, making its products household staples everywhere. Today, Nestlé's reach spans nearly every country, built on innovation, respect, and local connection. Global reach with local roots remains Nestlé's defining strength. Nestlé's empire thrives on iconic brands that connect emotionally with consumers. Maggi became a symbol of quick, delicious meals. In many places, it's a verb for adding flavor. Gerber reassured generations of parents, selling not just baby food, but trust. Quality Street and After Eight turned chocolates into festive rituals and moments of indulgence. Consistency and quality are key. Consumers expect the same taste and experience every time. Clever marketing and reliability transform simple products into household heroes. Nestlé's brands become part of daily life, woven into family traditions and memories. Trust and emotional connection keep people coming back, generation after generation. In the 1930s, Nestlé tackled Brazil's coffee surplus, inventing instant coffee after years of research. Nescafe debuted in 1938, using a revolutionary process to preserve coffee's aroma and flavor in a soluble powder. World War II made Nescafe a staple for soldiers, who brought the habit home, sparking global demand. Post-war marketing positioned Nescafe as the drink for modern, fast-paced lives. The brand evolved with premium blends and single-serve systems, adapting to changing coffee culture. Nescafe became more than a beverage, it was a symbol of convenience and innovation. Persistent marketing and understanding consumer needs turned Nescafe into a global icon. Nestle didn't just sell coffee, it changed how the world drinks it. KitKat's Have a Break, Have a KitKat slogan, launched in 1957, turned a chocolate bar into a cultural ritual. The product's design, snap-apart fingers, made the act of taking a break interactive and memorable. Advertising consistently reinforced the idea of KitKat as the perfect companion for a pause, embedding it in daily life. The brand adapted with humor and local twists, like Japan's Good Luck KitKats for students. KitKat's success shows the power of a simple, resonant message and consistent storytelling. Nestle's marketing mastery lies in creating brands that become part of life's small rituals. Sometimes, the simplest ideas, like taking a break, build the strongest brands. Nestlé's most damaging controversy arose from infant formula. In the 70s, a major international boycott was launched against the company. Activists accused Nestlé of unethical marketing practices in developing countries, promoting formula over breastfeeding, particularly among poor mothers. Many lacked clean water to safely prepare formula. This led to increased infant diarrhea and malnutrition. The boycott culminated in the Nestlé Kills Babies report, galvanizing public opinion. The WHO introduced the International Code of Marketing of Breast Milk Substitutes. The boycott left a stain on Nestlé's reputation, serving as a case study in corporate ethics. In recent decades, Nestlé has faced increasing scrutiny over its bottled water business. As the world's largest producer, Nestlé draws billions of liters of water from sources globally. Critics argue this privatizes a public resource, selling it back for profit, often where water is scarce. Communities protest Nestlé's extraction, claiming it depletes aquifers and harms ecosystems. Nestlé defends its practices, citing sustainability studies, job creation, and providing healthy options. The debate highlights tensions between profit and the right to water amid climate change and resource concerns. It forces us to ask, who owns water and how should it be managed? Nestlé's global empire relies on complex supply chains that stretch into some of the world's poorest regions. Over the years, Nestlé has faced serious allegations concerning the use of child labor and forced labor within its supply chains, particularly in the cocoa industry of West Africa. Investigative reports have uncovered evidence of children working in hazardous conditions on cocoa farms. Nestlé has acknowledged the problem of child labor in the cocoa sector and established the Nestlé Cocoa Plan in 2009. Critics argue that these initiatives have not gone far enough to solve the root causes of the problem. Similar concerns have been raised about the company's sourcing of palm oil, which has been linked to deforestation and labor abuses in Southeast Asia. The issue remains a significant ethical and reputational challenge for Nestlé. As the world's largest food and beverage company, Nestlé has an enormous environmental footprint. No issue has attracted more criticism than its contribution to global plastic pollution through single-use packaging. Environmental groups consistently rank Nestlé as one of the world's top plastic polluters. Its branded waste litters beaches and oceans, posing a grave threat to marine life. The criticism focuses on Nestlé's operations in developing countries, where waste management is inadequate. The company sells billions of products in single-serving plastic sachets that are almost impossible to recycle. In response to public pressure, Nestlé has pledged to make 100% of its packaging recyclable or reusable by 2025. It is investing in sustainable materials and supporting recycling infrastructure. Despite these commitments, many remain skeptical, arguing that Nestlé must rethink its reliance on single-use packaging and move towards reuse and refill systems. The plastic problem is a major sustainability challenge, and Nestlé is at the center, facing a critical test. Facing environmental pressures and consumer awareness, Nestlé has made sustainability central to its vision. The company aims to achieve net zero emissions by 2050, a transformation involving its entire operations. Nestlé is investing in regenerative agriculture to improve soil health and capture carbon. The company is also transitioning to 100% renewable electricity and tackling plastic pollution through recyclable packaging. Nestlé is experimenting with paper-based wrappers and exploring refillable containers. This shift acknowledges the need to move away from the take, make, dispose model. Sustainability is now a core business strategy aiming to attract consumers who value environmental commitment. Nestlé is staking its future on becoming a regenerative and responsible organization. Today's consumers are more health-conscious, seeking nutritious, natural, and transparently sourced foods. Nestlé is reformulating its products, investing in R&D to reduce sugar, salt, and saturated fats. They're expanding plant-based options like Garden Gourmet and Sweet Earth to meet the growing demand for vegetarian and vegan diets. Nestlé is also emphasizing clear nutritional information, adopting systems like Nutri-Score. This shift responds to a new generation demanding healthier choices and holding companies accountable. Nestlé is evolving to align with the future of food and the global demand for healthier living. After decades of controversies, Nestlé understands its future depends on how it operates. Rebuilding trust in a skeptical world is perhaps the company's greatest challenge. To this end, Nestlé is enhancing transparency across its value chain. This involves tackling issues like child labor in the cocoa industry. Nestlé has become more transparent, publishing reports that openly discuss the challenges it faces. A key goal is to source 100% of its key commodities through responsible sourcing programs by 2025. This includes its approach to water stewardship, improving water efficiency in its factories. Ultimately, true change must be embedded in the company's culture. This involves listening more closely to stakeholders and being more open to criticism. The company appears to recognize that a strong ethical foundation is a fundamental prerequisite for long-term business success. The story of Nestlé is the story of the modern food industry. From infant formula, a global empire was born, relentlessly expanding into every aspect of our daily diets. This small-town enterprise grew into a colossal multinational. Its journey reflects changing tastes and increasing globalization. The legacy Nestlé has built is one of immense complexity and profound contradiction. On the other hand, this legacy is shadowed by significant controversy. Nestlé's story is also a cautionary tale of a global giant navigating a complex world. As Nestlé looks towards the future, it stands at a critical crossroads, facing unprecedented challenges and transformative opportunities. A new generation demands transparency, ethical behavior, and a genuine commitment to people and the planet. Climate change, resource scarcity, and global inequality are urgent realities. Navigating this era requires a fundamental transformation. Ambitious pledges on sustainability and tackling plastic pollution will be put to the test. The quest to become a health and wellness company requires a difficult evolution. Yet Nestlé's vast resources, global reach, and expertise offer a unique capacity for positive change. By championing regenerative agriculture, sustainable packaging, and nutritious food access, it can shape a more sustainable global food system. The future depends on its ability to adapt, innovate, and listen to consumers, critics, and the planet. The challenge is not just to get bigger, but to get better, leading the way to a healthier, more sustainable, and ethical future. The world is watching, and Nestlé's next steps will define its legacy.